There are times in life when we're forced to rest, when we need to rest. And then there are times in life when opportunity presents itself and we need to take massive action. Right now, the opportunity is in front of us. It's time to go. We're coming off a time where we were forced to spend a little more time away from our business, spend some time at home, maybe to reevaluate every area of our lives. And now we're coming out of that now. We're at a place where all of that pent-up demand that was out there to do real estate that didn't have an opportunity to do it is taking off right now. And there's an opportunity right now that we very rarely see in our lifetime and in the lifetime of our business to take massive action. And really we have the opportunity to take steps where we can see results in months that would have taken years before. I want to share with you a story of what I see in our marketplace right now, because really there's a couple of different things that are going on with agents right now. We went through this forced time of being at home, of spending some time evaluating, enjoying our family time, enjoying some downtime, and in a lot of cases, getting some rest we all needed. But after you've been doing that for a little while, sometimes you can get comfortable and you forget what it takes to get back into the groove again, to get back in action and take advantage of opportunities. There's a story about the mountains over in Switzerland. They have these hiking trips where these are not the hiking up a mountain to the summit where that you may have to train for a year or some extreme sport. These are things that maybe you and I could do with a little bit of training. And basically what they do is they hike up the mountain on the first day, and then they camp, and then they reach the summit the next morning, and then they come back down the mountain. But along the way, this is kind of the way the trip goes. Everybody meets up in the valley. They're all together, this group that's going to do this together. And they leave their family and friends behind and they start trekking up the mountain. The first half of the first day after leaving at daylight is pretty strenuous. They have some obstacles they have to overcome. They have to push forward and probably move to a level that they may not have thought that they could do. But about 1 o'clock, they reach the halfway house. And what's great about the halfway house is this is a place where they can have this great lunch. They open the doors, and all of a sudden they come out of the cold, they come out of the weather, they see a fire there, which gives them comfort. They have the ability to take off those clothes that they had to keep them out of the weather. They have this great lunch, and while they're sitting there, they have these bedrooms to the side that if the weather got extreme, people could stay there if they needed to, if the weather changed on them. Well, here's what happens. About an hour and a half after they've gotten there, they've gotten comfortable, they've had their lunch, everybody's excited, and they're talking about everything that they did in the morning, and they're enjoying the view, because really where they are right now is higher than they've been before, and they're enjoying that view. But then the guide comes in and says, guys, it's time for us to move on up the mountain to where we'll camp tonight. And it's kind of ironic that at that point, the guides say that half of the people decide to stay in the comfort and say, you know what, I've come far enough. You know what, I'm kind of comfortable right here. I am enjoying this. I've got some stories to tell. It's been a good run. You guys are going to come back down to the mountain tomorrow. I'm going to have a good night's sleep here, and I'll see you tomorrow. And as the ones that are willing to go up the rest of the mountain leave, everybody's pretty excited. They enjoy maybe a dessert that they didn't have before because they were thinking they might not want to have that dessert before they went up the mountain. They're enjoying the comfort of the fire. And they are all having a good time, the ones that stayed behind. But they always say that about 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 4:30, all of a sudden it gets quiet. And all of a sudden they begin to realize that those that stayed behind, they began to grab the binoculars and look up the mountain. And they can see their friends and the people that were going on up the mountain. They can see them continuing to strive up the mountain. And later on that afternoon, they can see them setting up tents to spend the night. And all of a sudden they begin to regret the decision they made to stay in the comfort. The next morning they wake up, it's still quiet. They have a great breakfast. They got the comfort of the fire. They're enjoying the fact that they came halfway up the mountain. But all of a sudden they can look up the mountain and they can see their friends and those that continued on up at the summit of the mountain, taking the photos together. They can see them with the flags draped and celebrating the achievement. Later on about lunch, those same people that moved on up the mountain, they arrive back for lunch at the halfway house. And they're excited, they're high-fiving each other, they're talking about the stories they have for pushing through, how they worked together, how they overcame obstacles, and how they went to a level that they didn't even know that they could go to physically, mentally, in every area of their life to get to the peak of that mountain that next night, or that next morning. As they're talking about these stories, there's a group that's really quiet, and it's those that stayed in the comfort. And as they then get done with the lunch, they go back down the mountain. As they get to the valley, they're greeted by the people, the friends and family that they left behind. And they're so excited to hear the stories. And the ones that went to the top of the mountain share their stories, and they're smiling and they're laughing. And the ones that decided to stay in the comfort, they just kind of get in their car and they drive away. Sure, they've got some stories. Sure, they made some progress, but they know that there was more opportunity for them than they took advantage of. You see, I believe that's where we are in our real estate market. We've had a great run. If you've been in real estate for any period of time, odds are you've had some successes. Odds are you've taken your business possibly to a level that you didn't know whether you could go any further or not. I'm telling you, there's another level. This is the time, though, where those that decide to make some changes, that decide to get back out of the comfort that we've enjoyed for the last few months, and decide to push themselves and do new things so that they can get to new levels, are going to see dramatic results. If you're one of those people, I'd love to talk to you. We're at a place right now where this is the opportunity. In my opinion, after 26 years in real estate, I've never been more excited about the opportunities that we see in our real estate market right now. If you're at a place where you're thinking about making a change, or you're at a place where maybe you're thinking that maybe there's another level for you, but you don't know how to get there, I'd love to be one of the guides that helps you get there. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.